Hello and welcome back to Aubrey Books and Coffee. Please grab your favorite beverage of choice and ignore any sounds you hear from the cats that decided now is the exact time to play and join me. This is going to be week 2 using Becca from Becca and the Books Spookoplathon. I'm excited to get some more rolls in. I'm excited to see what books it's going to give me. Hopefully less doubles than what was going on last week, and hopefully some really good ones. And maybe we'll see if I get spooked with the book choices. Let's see if the movies that match those spook me at all. I mean, the meter is only at 1 after last week. Like, where's the spookiness? So we'll see. All right. Next one. Doubles. Why? Why are there so many doubles, Becca? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. This is a TBR vet. I know. You know why I'm pouting. Oh my gosh, why? Why are there doubles again? And to make matters worse, I landed on TBR vet. Do you know what book is on my shelf that is a TBR vet? It was part of my TBR game, but I didn't realize I'd have to do it in just a week. So I'm completely intimidated now. I'm gonna have to read Stephen King's It. And oh my gosh, you guys. Now, you know I love audiobooks. Even the audiobook is 48 hours. 48 hours. Now, I listen to most audiobooks on double speed, but that's still 24 hours of listening. And there's more books to fit in. Y'all, I might die. I am now 25% through it, finally. That's like page 250, just to give you a perspective here. It has a lot of similarities, obviously, to the movies I've seen before, including the TV adaptation that they did that went on for a few days back in, like, I think it was early 90s or something. And there's definitely similarities there, but even just this first 25%, there is so much more. Not just the details, but like, I had no idea that this monster entity, could mess with anybody. I thought it was just those kids. I didn't realize it messed with everybody in Derry. And its reach was far enough that, like, because we keep time hopping, we do a little in the future and a little in the past, and then we go in the future and then the past. And these kids that have moved on with their life and gotten married or have coworkers and stuff, like, it can mess with them as well. And that just bespeaks of an evilness I didn't expect. And also the people of Derry, it touches the mind so that if they see evil happening, they turn a blind eye to it. They pretend they don't see it and they ignore it. That blows my mind too, that this evil entity has that kind of a reach. Super creepy, much more depth. Can't wait to continue. I am getting ready to finish mowing of what I am hoping is the last time this year that I have to mow. But regardless, I'm about 50% finally in the audiobook of it. 50%, by the way, is at 23 hours. So think about that. If you've seen the movie at all, you've seen the part where Bev is kind of in the future, like her present day instead of the past time frame, and she goes to the apartment where she used to live with her dad. And so I just got done with that scene, and it's even creepier in the book, and pervy. Like, what is wrong with you, Stephen King? Why are you so pervy? Regardless, super creepy. So I'm kind of hoping that this clown doesn't follow me as I finish my mowing, because I'm a little creeped out, and all I need is for a clown to be in, like, behind a tree and pop out while I'm mowing. Is there a clown back there? I hope. Okay. Anyway, so that's all I gotta say for now. I'm 75% into it, and I have to say, this is exactly why I'm not a Stephen King fan. He is so unnecessarily pervy. He takes things to a place it's unnecessary. It doesn't even make sense in the story to take it there. He just does because he really likes perverted things. There's a scene with the group of boys that are bullies that was completely unnecessary. There's a thing between Bev and her dad that's completely unnecessary. Bev's fear is her dad beating her, and she's got a fear of blood. Like, she doesn't have a fear of this other thing. She's 12. She barely understands this thing. And Stephen King goes there, and he's making it a thing. And it doesn't even make sense. Because at this point, clown, whatever you want to call it, focuses on fear. Like your current fears, not introducing you to new fears. So I don't understand why Stephen King felt the need to go here. It's unnecessary. It just feels unnecessary. It feels gratuitous for no reason. And then he even has Mike doing research and talking to older folks from Derry to see how long this has been going on. And the way that Mike is writing his thoughts in his journal and his papers is unnecessarily gratuitous with the way it's wording. Like talking about raping the woods, and it gets way worse than that. Like, just to talk about cutting down trees instead. Like, the choices Stephen King uses is just unnecessarily vile. And I just I'm not saying he's not a good author, but this is why he's not my cup of tea. Because for me, it doesn't need to be that way. It doesn't need to be gratuitous. In fact, that takes me out of the story when I'm sitting there going, why? Like, of all the words you could use to describe a situation, why do you pick in the dictionary the most perverted words and use those? It's unnecessary. So this is quickly going down in my like. I'm quickly feeling like the movies have done better than this book, to be honest, and rarely do I say that. And I just, yeah, I don't know, guys. I don't know. This may not get a good rating for me, because instead of scary, it's now just making me mad. So I'm doing my Friday sprints, and I finally finished it. Thank God. I'm giving this a 3-star. I know that's probably not a popular opinion, but you guys, it was so unnecessarily pervy, especially at the end. At the end, he has something happening with these kids, and they're flipping 12 years old, you know, so gross, oogie. It gave me the bad feels. It was unnecessary. It was a choice that he purposefully made that did not need to be done. No, just no. And then towards the end there, it just really felt like it was dragging on. This book easily could have been 250 to 300 pages shorter. Yeah, you lost me. I'm sorry, you lost me there. Did not stick the landing, in my opinion. And honestly, if you were to watch the 2 movies that have been out more recently, and then the old TV series that they did, between the 2, they've covered everything that was in this book outside of the pervy stuff. And in my opinion, wraps up the book beautifully and gives you everything you could ever want to know. And that's, in my opinion, my humble opinion, the better way to go than actually reading this if you at all aren't into the pervy. So yeah, I was disappointed. I'm not gonna lie. For as excited as Ryan was to have me read this, I was very disappointed. And I dare say, outside of The Stand, there's not a book of his that I've actually enjoyed. So yeah, this one was a bummer.
Gucci. What a nice boat.
So we finished watching both of the movies for It, part 1 and part 2. And I've actually seen them before. When they came out to the theaters, my husband really wanted to see them. So having only grown up with the TV series, I was interested as well. So this is actually the second time I've watched them, and I have to give them 5 stars. I really do. I really enjoyed the characters. I enjoyed the acting. The creepy moments were extra creepy. The jumpy moments were jumpy. It was all the things. And so I think it was very well done. And yeah, I think the movies are fantastic. And our next one, 5 and a 4 for 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 7, 8, 9. Why am I landing on Jason again? Oh my gosh. 13 letters in the title again. Good, not doubles. So roll 6 got us Jason again, another 13 letters in the title. I'm gonna cheat. I need a little bit of a break after all of this that has been happening. So I'm choosing Alice in Borderland Volume 3, but especially since we left on that huge cliffhanger of Volume 2, I needed to pick this up anyway. I'm dying to know what's happening to everybody. So I'm excited. There's like 17 letters in the title, so even better. Again, the overachiever. Hopefully this goes super quick and we can go on to that 7th roll. So I've gotten to 25% into Alice in Borderland Volume 3. It is picking immediately up from where we left off on the cliffhanger from Volume 2. 100% make sure you're looking into trigger warnings because it's drawn and written very graphically. Not the most pleasant way to start it, but understandable. And at 25%, there is a surprise twist on these games that I don't know why, but I never expected. I just did not expect it to happen. And now looking back, I should have seen it coming, and it's really shaking things up. And so I'm intrigued to see where it goes from here. All right, so I'm 50% into Alice in Borderland Volume 3, and we're actually following a new character. I'm going to say his name wrong. I'm so sorry. Hayato Dodo, I think his name is. He's a young kid. He has this major crush on a girl at school, and this friend, so-called friend of his, is supposed to put in a good word for him, and instead ends up falling in love with the girl and her with him. So he's kind of doing the same thing that our main character through this whole series has done of the, boy, I wish I was somewhere else, anywhere else. And so he kind of makes that wish, and he sees fireworks, and then wouldn't you know, he wakes up in Borderland. And the game he's on reminds me of a mix of what's that one that Survey says? Family Feud. But it kind of feels like that, only lethal. So yeah, it's kind of crazy at 50%. I'm wondering where our main characters are. Haven't seen them yet, but it's still interesting. Still totally grabbing me. The stakes are still really, really high. I am at 75% now, and I'm almost done. I am so close to finishing it. So it was apparently a side story that we got that had that character I mentioned in the last update, and we got to see more of his story, which is interesting, and you kind of see how it ties in with who he meets up with and stuff. So I don't want to spoil anything, but it makes more sense. Now at 75%, we're back into the main story. And I'm glad because, of course, these are the characters that we want to follow anyway. And we're back to the new game at the beach that they're going through. And it is rough. Like, it's really, really rough. And we're getting some backstory of some of these more bloody and evil guys that are, you know, here on the beach and in charge and are doing awful, awful things. And so, I'm sorry, I'm distracted by a squirrel over there. So yeah, so we're getting backstory for them, which is kind of sad, but makes sense and is making it more rich of a story. So I'm still really enjoying it. And I finished. 5 stars. It was so good. Oh, as always, we're on a cliffhanger so that you pick up the next one, which I absolutely need to do now. And oh my gosh, the psychological torture and games that are played in this book is just, it's intense. It's absolutely intense. But I am loving the weather. It is only like 68 degrees outside and sunny and beautiful. And I've got like Snow White's backyard back here, and I'm just loving all the critters that are running around. And we have a stray cat who's got kittens and stuff that we take care of, and she's been hanging out on the porch with me too, so it's been kind of nice. What do you think, Mama Boots? What do you think, Mama? Alright, so I finished the episode of Alice in Borderland that I thought would coincide with Volume 3, but it's not exactly one for one. So instead, in this episode, we had our main character meet up with someone we'd seen previously, which actually happened in Volume 2. And I was glad to see the two of them reunite, and it was very touching, and the story and background we got, it was really touching. But the game that they ended up playing, and they still haven't gotten to the beach, the game they ended up playing was one I actually haven't seen yet. So I don't know if it's in a future volume or if it was artistic license, because some of these games they have to participate in, I would imagine would cost a very pretty penny to try to recreate. So, or even be dangerous for the actors. But yeah, it was really good. I give it 4 stars. Very enjoyable. I'm enjoying watching the Netflix series, and I'm enjoying reading the books, obviously. And yeah, it's been a great October so far. 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And 8 has a pentacle on it. Oh, that doesn't make me feel creeped out at all. I'm so grateful got us the pentacle, which I think I called it the wrong thing, so forgive me for that. But basically, this is a 5-star prediction. So I chose another one that's going to be a quick, easy read. I've got to. I'm almost to the end where I need to hurry up and edit this and get it out to you guys for Sunday. So running out of time here, especially with all those crazy doubles. Hopefully next week goes easier on me. So for this prompt, I chose Fangs by Sarah Anderson. It's going to be a real quick read, but I think it's going to be a 5-star. It's basically a vampire and a werewolf that are in love. And so I'm excited to read this and hopefully have a really good time. So I gave like no update whatsoever. And I am so sorry. I picked it up and read it in one sitting, and it was so freaking cute, you guys. So freaking cute. the humor, the love between the vampire and the werewolf is just so sweet. And just the small things you wouldn't think about, like going for walks together. But if it's a full moon, obviously the werewolf is in wolf form and he's like, no leashes and stuff. I mean, just really cute moments. And it's just absolutely adorable. And how they adjust to each other's differences, like, he gives her a kiss and she's gagging and he's like, oh no, I put garlic on my pizza. So things like that. It's just so cute. So 5 stars, 100% keeping this on my shelf. It's going to have to be a reread again and again, especially during spooky season. Oh, it was just too freaking cute. I love this book. Thank you, Sam from Yarn Reader, for recommending it. Freaking love this book. We just finished watching Abigail. Oh my gosh, I'm so glad we watched it as a family. It was not at all what I thought it was going to be. The whole preview shows this little girl getting kidnapped and her dad, has money or whatever, so they're kidnapping for that. And then she becomes a little terror. It's just... Oh my gosh. The fact that I paired it with my book Fangs for today, it should give you a little clue. And the preview kind of gives you a clue of what to expect. But there's some different twists and stuff happening that make it very, very interesting. And to me anyway, and to the rest of my family, we gave it 5 stars. We love this movie. When it comes out on DVD, we're going to buy it because you youngins out there used to be this thing called DVDs. And you could purchase the movie and not just stream it. So we're totally going to own it because it was so good. It is so good. This is going to be a Halloween rewatch anytime that we want. Something a little spooky, bloody, definitely bloody. But a lot of fun. So this was so good. Oh my gosh. Highly recommend this movie. All right. No doubles. Please, no doubles. Okay, 4 and a 3 is 7. Whew. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And that one looks like it says... mood read. Oh, thank goodness. Hallelujah. The final roll for the week, hallelujah, is going to be a mood read. And so I chose one of the last of the shortest books that I have on my TBR, and that's The Langoliers by Stephen King. It's a short story inside his 4 Past Midnight book. So while it looks super thick, The Langoliers is less than 300 pages. So this has been quite a week. I'm going to hurry up and dive into this so that I can be vlogging it and reviewing it for you. All right, I'm 25% into Langoliers, and so far it's boring. It's really boring. I know we have to meet the characters and stuff, but yeah, let's pick this up. I have a whiskey attempting to climb all over me, so I'm sorry if that ends up being moving the camera distracting. But anyway, he just wants to say hi. But anyway, so I finished The Langoliers. I'm sorry I didn't give you an update at the halfway point or anything, but it didn't get much more exciting. It's very more psychological. And it's just very slow, and there's a lot of extra things thrown in, like dreams that people are having and stuff, and their past. And I get it, but if you're gonna do like a 200-page shorter novel story, you just don't need all that extra stuff. It just really slows down the pacing. So for me anyway, and I was just mostly bored. And yeah, the concept is interesting, but I feel like he was almost trying to have a double meaning with the Langoliers and have like a deeper meaning about what they represented and were for each person and stuff. And it just, I don't know, it just fell flat for me. So For me, I'm probably going to give it a 2-star, to be honest, and might be done with Stephen King, or at least for a while. We finished watching the Langolier movie, and it's dated, definitely dated, and the CGI wasn't great. And not just because of the date, but like, I guess my husband went on a rant because he went online and they were talking about how even back in those days, like, the CGI was considered so bad, like some of the worst CGI that they had ever put in movies. It was pretty cheesy. It was pretty bad, but it was also so slow, kind of like the book. It was very, I thought, true to the book, and maybe that's why, but we were all just really bored. And that's kind of how I felt the whole time I was reading it too. It was just so boring. For such a cool idea and concept, it just didn't come across. It just didn't execute. Not for us anyway. So probably gonna give it a 2-star, just like the book, because yeah, I fell asleep in places, I'm not even gonna lie. So now I actually need to wrap up this vlog as well. I, again, only got 4 in. I really wanted more. I wanted to give you guys more books to review as we go. I'm still going to get my 31 and 31, but just not with the Spookopoly rolls. I wanted more with the rolls. But at least we are moving forward, and I look forward to next week and seeing what that brings. That being said, between the books and the movies that have been done this week, the Spookmeter didn't go up much, you guys. If anything, I was excited to pick up, you know, some manga that turned out to be really great, and the cute and adorable Fangs book. But those gave me good, happy vibes, or even crying because they were sad, sad vibes, but not spooky. And the movies themselves were either really boring or strange, or even sometimes kind of cool, but again, not super jumpy and spooky. So for me, I'm probably gonna go with, maybe I'm at a 2, like just barely at a 2 for my Spookmeter. So, and we're almost halfway there, everybody. We're seriously almost halfway through the month. So this may be an October where I just don't get scared.